Hey everyone, thanks for logging in this morning or afternoon, depending where you're at. I'm really excited about today's webinar. Just has a lot of great information. Give you a couple of reasons why. One, the contact study we're going to go over today hasn't been done in 3 years. We're the last provider that's actually has done a study where we've actually reached out to lenders and seen how they responded. So really excited to kind of go over the results, what they look like today. Also, our lead survey study and engagement study. It's been a decade or more since I've seen someone who's been able to put together a lead performance and engagement study report that shows, how you can increase conversion and how leads perform across the network. So we're going to go over both those things. And as we start, what I want to just do, and just in case people don't know who Insellerate is, there's really two main parts of our core platform, right? Our CRM lead management, which is a desktop, has some mobile access, has the data IE and enrichment. Our engagement platform, which is automated marketing and customer for life. It automates emails, text messages, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, direct mail, phone calls. I'm probably missing a few there, but it automates and it engages your customers. Also, our platform allows for you to have a mobile application. That way your loan officers can always stay engaged with their consumers, whether they make a phone call or a text message. We have a mobile compliant platform that they can work on their mobile phone and also control calls. So I'm going through our product because it makes sense why we did our study and what the results look like. So we really are trying to help lenders manage the customer experience as best as possible. One of our new products is Data IE, where you enrich the customer data so you know more about the customer, so you know how to market to them, how to talk to them, what to sell. Also, just a full closed customer for life program. After loan closes, you have an email, digital platform, the content, whether it's cards or birthday cards, et cetera. We handle it from the very first inquiry through lead management, distribution, instant dial to post-loan, how do you monitor your customers and how do you get them back in the door? So really excited to kind of go over this. And ultimately, what we're doing is we're driving to this. And this will kind of help us frame some of the study. This is an example of some contact strategy workflows saying, day one, if it's a contact, it looks like this. They get an email, then a text, then a Facebook post. Day 3, day 4, right? Here's what the contact strategy looks like until the lead's taken an application. Once they've taken an application, what does it look like? If they've stalled in the application, what does it look like? If it's a first-time home buyer, what does it look like? If it's a refinance, what does it look like? So our platform, what we do is we set up a complete strategy for you and automate it all. And let's just kind of look at, what that looks like in the industry, because you can set up automation to stay in contact with customers and, to see how lenders have done. So again, this is the 4th MBA study we've done. Our first one was in 2015. We took a few years off. And what we have gone each time, have gone in between, this time was 489 companies, and we're between 489 companies and say, I think 1,000 companies. And we go on their website, we apply, we have a burner phone and email, the whole 9 yards. We then track, when do they email us, call us, or text us, and how quickly those took place, how often those took place. And we compiled that data. Through the years, what we've shown year in, year out, that basically half leads don't get responded to. This year was only 40% of the leads that didn't get responded to. So there has been an increase of response. But the industry as large has really done a poor job managing customers' expectations and staying engaged with them. So a couple things to think about when you contact someone. If you contact them in 5 minutes versus 30 minutes, you're 21 times more likely to close a loan. MIT did a study that if you call them in 5 minutes versus 30 minutes, you're 100 times more likely to get a hold of them on the phone. So just speed, contact, consistency, coverage, making sure you're calling all your leads, making sure you're calling them quickly, whether they're a prospect or a follow-up or a long-term purchase shopper. Are you staying in front of them? Are you covering them consistently? So let's just talk about some of these stats. Key findings here. First, 40% of lenders never responded to an online inquiry. Let's say that again. 40% of lenders, so of the 489 lenders we applied on their website, 40% did an emails, calls, texts, did nothing. It's amazing how that could happen in today's modern age. Other people did respond. Here's the response times. 18% in the first 5 minutes. It's about 23% in the first hour. Another 24% in the next 23 hours. So about half the people in the first day, and then there's some trail off there. I mean, that's horrible. The average time was 19 hours. The average time to respond to a lead was 19 hours. Think about that. I go into your store, I'm looking to buy something, and it takes 19 hours for you to come back and tell me if I can buy it or not. Right? I'm going to go shop somewhere else. I go next door. Your store is closed if you're not responding to me in 19 hours. If we think it's a competitive marketplace, it is, but not if you're not responding to people in 19 hours, you're going to get beat every time. And this is a surprising stat, just because text messaging is such a wildly successful way to market to and connect and communicate with consumers. Something like 98% of text messages get read in the first 5 minutes. I mean, the stats aren't how impactful text messaging is huge, but only 11% of the lenders actually texted in any of this communication through any of the initial contact, follow-up strategy, or anything within the process. But yet we know that consumers want text messages. We know it's easier to contact people. We know we get responses faster. Of the 60 people that did respond, a little bit over half followed up, did more than one response. I think they averaged like 1.2 responses. Again, that's really horrible. I mean, so the people that did respond, they'd made one attempt. Maybe they emailed them, but that was it. Never a follow-up, never another call, a text, no other way to reach out to them. Of the lenders we applied to, this was really surprising. 1% of lenders, so 489, so 4 lenders, called, emailed, and texted an online inquiry. I mean, so let's really think about that for a second. What we're seeing is consumers go online, and by large, lenders do not engage with them, manage the lead, manage the contact, and successfully convert that transaction. And it makes sense because the technology, not all lenders have the technology to do this. So just some best practices we came out with the study, which one is call immediately. If someone says, hey, I'm interested in a mortgage, you should have someone call that person immediately. Then text them. Make sure you're consistent over a 2-week period. Have a consistent strategy. Have a platform that manages all this. That's the thing. If you're relying on, hey, I get it on an inquiry and I email it to Sally and Sally's going to call, that's not going to work. Or I tell Sally and Jim, make sure you call all your leads from last week a second time. That's not going to work. You have to have systematic, automated process to do this. And then make sure you use personalization. Of the 60% of people that did respond, things like 10 or 20%, it was with an unpersonalized email. The very generic, thank you for inquiring with ABC Bank. We will call you shortly. Or if you have any information or any questions, please let us know. I mean, that's really not, that's not what you should be portraying if you're trying to help people with customer service. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really only one thing that we can offer our customers that's different than anyone else. That's service. So let's make sure we have great service, stay in contact with them, be relevant, be timely with them. So we look at these numbers and say, all right, so what does it look like if you were to engage leads better? Well, so we did another report. Now, this was actually to make sure we understood how our engagement platform was working. And again, let me tell you what our engagement platform is. What we do is we set up for lenders through our platform. It's all automated. We have email pathways, direct mail, text messages, ringless voicemail, Facebook, Instagram, and phone call. We have the strategy and the content. We set it all up so that when a consumer says, hey, I want a mortgage, whether they call you, sit down face-to-face, or go online, they're going to be engaged. They're going to be consistently engaged. So we have lenders on our platform that use all of our engagement tools, and we have lenders that don't use all the engagement tools. And we want to understand how well do our engagement tools work. We also want to understand how well did leads perform on our platform, like who had the best performance and what did our lenders do with those leads. So, we'll send this out so you can see some of these trends or read further into the study, but let me just give you some high level numbers as we walk through this. There's 53 lenders we looked at, 27 that had active engagement, that had 2 channels or more of contact strategy with a customer. And then that was 26 that had and 27 that did not have it. We looked at 274,000 leads. So what we looked at is lenders on our platform that were similar lead buys from the same top lead providers out there. And then who had engagement, who did not have 2 pathways of engagement, meaning they didn't have, you have to have like an email and a text pathway set up, or a text and a phone call, or a text and an email set up. So that's how we diverge the groups, which is how many channels of engagement you have set up. So we looked at 274,000 leads. that turned into roughly 9,500 funded loans over a 2-year period. First, just to give you an idea of what the study had, this is about $3 billion in funded loans. The average conversion across the board is right here. So this is something, guys, that if you're watching this, look at this, look at your numbers and start benchmarking yourself. Is this what you're performing if you're buying leads? Right? So this is what the market, this is what the average lender is doing on our platform, all combined how people convert and what the leads, how leads convert within our platform. Now, what we broke it down to is, what about those lenders with engagement and without engagement? Is there a difference? And the answer is absolutely. There's a massive difference. Okay. So lenders with engagement on bank rate funded at 8.18%. Lenders without engagement funded at 5.85%. I mean, do the math. That's almost twice the amount of loans with the same marketing spend, or half the marketing spend, the same amount of loans. I mean, it's massive savings there. Lead pops, I thought this was really interesting because this is going to be a landing form that is, it's like kind of like the same playing field across everyone, right? So you're a lender and you have a landing form somewhere on a Facebook page or your home page or somewhere. How do those perform? Well, lenders who use engagement fund 6.75% of all those inquiries. Lenders that do not have engagement fund 3.5% of all those inquiries. So just kind of to put the big picture in, let's look at what that actually means. So of all the different things we looked at, Google marketing, 282% increase in conversion. Direct mailers, which we have a lot of lenders that use them, 209% increase in engagement. Zillow leads, 133. Lending Tree, 121% increase in conversion. Monster Lead Group, which we have a ton of lenders on, 116% increase. Realtor.com, 103. Lead Pops, 93%. Like I said, almost double. Bank Rate, 40% increase, and Free Rate Update, 16% increase. These are major numbers. I mean, if you looked at the math, and so here's just to kind of give you an idea what the math looks like. If you bought 1,000 leads or created 1,000 leads online, inquiries, and you use engagement versus not engagement, you're talking about $4 million a year per revenue per 1,000 leads a month. So if you produce 2,000 leads a month, you're talking about $8 million a year in revenue you're missing out, because per 1,000 leads a month, you're going to fund 8 more bank rate leads, 11 more lead pops, 4 more loans from Lending Tree. Just an example set. Let's do the math. Your average loan size, right? What's that per year? What's your average net basis point all in margin? Now we're talking about, we're talking a large number. This is a lot of money. So to do this right, and the stakes are high, and the outcome is great. What I think is great about this is the competition is low. And we just looked at the math. We looked at the numbers. 1% of lenders actually do all 3: email, text, and call a lead. 1%. That's, I mean, you want to stand out? You want to give someone that wow experience? Just call them. You're going to stand out because you're only 1% of lenders are call, email, and texting a customer. Make it easy. Only 11% of people are actually using text messaging. So you can see why this stuff really does work. And what we can see in the industry is lenders don't do this effectively at all. I mean, half of lenders are not, more than half of lenders aren't effectively communicating with their leads. Half aren't responding. The half that do don't respond with a personalized email or message. Right. So, we really have, a low competition out there. So all you really have to do is just rise above it, give great service. What you want to look at is pre-built strategy and workflows. This will help you become easier. This is what we provide. So we'll have pre-built workflows and strategies, pre-designed marketing content. You can either create your own or you can work off it. It becomes difficult for lenders to do this because of they don't have the technology or the integrations, right? Our platform solves that. We have integrations to most of the technology that's out there, and anything that's out there, it's integratable into, you can integrate with our platform. They don't have the content. We create the content. We have content, monthly content that gets created, and we have a whole content library to start from. They don't have the strategy. We have the strategy. Not only do we look at those studies as far as the conversion of, who closes more or less, we look at, well, what looked like that lender who's funding, the top quartile, what's the contact strategy look like? Is it 3 emails? and then a call. What's the touch point? What seems to be the most effective way to get these customers to engage with you? And that's a strategy we roll out for you as well. So it's more than just lead management, it's complete functionality. And what you'll do is, we'll come out, you'll get something like this, a full built strategy that tells you exactly how, what your content looks like, what you're going to do, how you're going to ensure that you're not like the 99% of lenders out there that don't adequately respond to or work with their customers. So again, guys, this study is going to be sent out. This is recorded. We're all going to get some info on this. And I had a couple of quick questions, if I could, just so I can get an idea. I should have run this at the very beginning, but if anyone wouldn't mind answering this, just out of curiosity, are you actively, people here, are you trying to improve your lead conversion right now? Like how many out here are, that's just something they manage or they look at? And then, do you currently use text messaging in your marketing campaigns and your strategy? And are you, do you buy produced leads? Good answers. Are you actively looking at new technology? I put that last one there because I can tell you, I've been in the mortgage industry for 22 years now. And people always talk about new technology, new technology, new technology. When the rates dropped, a year and a half ago, people were talking about new technology, but they got so busy. Everyone now is saying, all right, we have record profits. We need to invest in the business. We know technology is going to be the wave of the future. And if you're not investing in looking at your tech stack right now, then you need to be. So lenders are by and large inquiries. We've grown 100% year over year for several years now. And it's just picking up because lenders are now trying to do this better, right? All right, so we got some good answers. So yes, people are looking at new technology. Most people are creating leads, and half of you are trying to improve that and half of you aren't. I appreciate that. Listen, just a little bit about us again. Our mission is really to help lenders close more loans. And it began with, I was in the mortgage industry, I was a lender. We create the platform for ourselves, and then now we now sell to other lenders. So we have a passion here. It's why we do research studies. We understand the contact strategies, what lenders are doing, what's effective, what's not effective. That's why we look at the lead survey studies to understand how can we help you close more loans, right? So you need a provider and a technology partner that's going to sit and work with you and figure out how they can help you win. So if you want to find out more about us, go to Insellerate.com. You can ask for a demo. You can also just email sales@insellerate.com. And we'd love to find out how we can help you and give you any more information that you guys need.